Thank you very much, dear friends, dear leaders. 10 years after the inaugural Women Political Leaders Summit in the European Parliament, we are back here, in the heart of Europe. I'd like to thank you, dear Silvana. Thank you for organizing this coming together. Thank you for inviting me to be able to talk with you. I have a few messages to say that there is still more to be done to encourage women and girls across the world to lead, to become forces of change, and to help other women rise. I start with saying that there are few better examples of outstanding and courageous female leadership under unimaginable pressure than that of Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. Svetlana has inspired, has led, and has endured. She has become the global personification of a free and democratic Belarus. And let me say here to you, I've said it before, but in front of our colleagues and leaders in this room, that the age of dictators will come to an end. That Belarus will be free, and that when that day comes, it will be thanks to women like Svetlana and like Maria Kolesnikova, who has been illegally jailed for over 1,000 days. We will stick together. But the truth is that even with role models, even with leadership, there are still too many obstacles, too many unbroken ceilings. And this is not just in politics, it is across the board. Too many career paths remain blocked. I'm proud of the work that this Parliament has done to change, to keep adding cracks to that previously impenetrable ceiling, to change the course for so many women. Because despite the challenges, women in leadership positions have changed the world. Women in business, women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, women in education, women in the arts, and in journalism. They have broken barriers and disposed of taboos to the dustbin of history. And we have to say this more. We must continue to work hard to make women's contribution to society more visible. The message of female leadership that was passed on to all of us must now be passed on by us tenfold. Women political leaders today must be multipliers and drivers of leadership in women going forward. We don't say that enough, and we don't do that enough. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the women in my country who endured to make my path possible. And I want to repay that going forward. And every time we fall, and in politics and life we all do, we are pulled back, up, by other women who have been through it all before us. And that's my appeal when I speak to young girls across our union. We have to pull each other up. I visit a lot of countries and I talk to young people. We are 1 year away from the European elections. I always get the same question wherever I go. What's your advice? How do we do it? I'm scared to enter politics. It's hard, especially for women, young women and girls who need to fight hard for a place at the table. My answer is that being in politics is not easy. Being a woman in politics doesn't make it any easier. But I was fortunate to grow up with the mantra that if you work hard enough, if you want it enough, if you are ready to climb that mountain, then nothing can hold you back. Not your gender, not your background. But it is harder than it should be. Too many still fall through the cracks. And we cannot be complacent to the sidelining of women, or we risk missing out on many excellent candidates that could be the catalysts of enormous societal change. And that depends on political parties, on legislation, but most importantly, on societal change that we must push through. It depends on role models. We can be glad to see how many of us are here in this room, how many more women, as each election goes by, take up leadership positions. But more still needs to be done. What we need is a real change in the mindset in many countries, I would say in all countries, to allow more inclusion, for more women to run for election and get elected. I am proud of the adoption, finally, took a while, of the Women on Boards Directive last November, a breakthrough for gender equality in European society. It took almost a decade for what should have been obvious. We can also be proud of how this Parliament, and I see colleagues here, are pushing for equal pay provisions for equal work. Employers will have to be more transparent about the pay gap between female and male workers in order to close it. And this is also a standard reply, not a standard question. Oh, in our country there's none, no gap. And you start to ask questions. How difficult is it for a woman to enter the career path after having children? How difficult has it been since the pandemic, where women took over the role of carer across the world, both for the older and younger generations? We will be feeling the effects of that, not only from a mental health perspective, but from an economic and societal perspective for years to come. We need to say it. Nobody else will. And it was women parliamentarians, continues to be women parliamentarians in this House, who ensure that the toughest of negotiations for equality come through, so that little by little by little, step by step, this world can become a little bit more equal and a little bit more fair. We can level the playing field. Events like this are crucial for this to happen. Let's not wait another 10 years for this to happen again. Thank you for organizing this. Thank you for the inspiration. Let's continue working together, and ultimately, let's stick together. Thank you.